So I'm here with Ed Finch, and we're at Chagford Primary School, and I'm going to be talking to Ed about whole books and stories in primary schools. Okay, people go on about whole books, but actually I'm an English teacher. I want to focus in on one bit of the English curriculum. An extract is just perfect for what I need. So what's the advantage of whole books over extracts?
Well, I think I would say two things to that. I would say that choosing just an extract, I do understand that you want to focus on one little feature. It's tempting to zoom right in, but if you zoom right in, you're going to lose touch with the whole thing. And I want my children to understand what that feature does in context. It's making a difference to a story, it's making a difference to the storytelling. I want them to get that. So it's like studying the heart without ever understanding the whole body. I think they need it. But you've got to love that book and think, yes, this is right for my kids. They are going to go for it. If you believe that, they will.
Do you think it's important to read a story to children outside the English lesson?
I really do. I really do think that's important. And I love those class novels which we're just reading because we love them. You know, I think that's really important. Not everything has to be tied to the English lesson. On the other hand, sometimes you read in that book and there's a bit of it where you go, oh, I know what we can do with this. A lovely example would be The Girl Who Stole an Elephant, which we were reading just for pleasure. But then the children got so excited in how the main character was going to escape from this prison. And I said, well, how do you think we'll do it? They started telling me. And before I knew it, we were making annotated maps of the prison, how she was going to escape, what might be going on. Actually, that was really good writing for them. And if I'd said, no, we never write about the text, well, you know, we'd have missed out on something which we really enjoyed.
Ed, oral storytelling, it's a tradition. Is it a tradition we should be teaching in schools or picking up on in schools? Should we use oral stories?
I am very passionate about it. Very passionate about it. But I can't just tell a teacher, whether they're an NQT, ECT, I think we call them nowadays, or someone who's been in the classroom for 20 years to just do it. There's a skill in oral storytelling. Now, invite me to your school, I will run you some lovely inset, and you are going to love it, and you'll be very much more confident in your oral storytelling. I love doing that, but it's not something you can just do one day. It's not maybe as simple as you might think. Just because our forefathers could do it doesn't mean it's without skill. It's so important. Children love it. It's powerful. It builds oracy. It's part of this whole thing. But, you know, it is taught for teachers as well as children.
Okay, Ed, what can you get from an oral story that you can't get from a whole text, a picture book or a novel?
So if I read you a fabulous book, let's say I read you one of Philip Pullman's wonderful stories. He's the voice, he chose the words. I can put my spin on it with my intonation and my voices, but it's his. He owns the story, it's by him. If I tell you the Three Wishes, or if I tell you about Cassim the Divided, or if I tell you any of these great stories that I've got stacked up in here, when I tell you them, they are mine. And when I give them to you, they become yours. Now, Dark Materials is always going to belong to Philip Pullman, but everybody's got their own version of the donkey story, the Bricklebrit story.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's about ownership, and that for children, ownership of voice is huge, because then they're learning to write their stuff, not necessarily learning to write a shadow of Philip stuff.